Okay, 75. The question is sine inverse log with base 2 x square by 2. Sine inverse of something is defined only when the inner part is between -1 to 1. Yesterday I discussed same thing for 73. Okay. We said if sine theta is equal to x, we write theta equal to sine inverse x. Because this is between -1 to 1, even this also should be between -1 to 1 for this to be defined. So I have to write -1 less than or equal to log with base 2 x square by 2 less than or equal to 1. Those who don't know logarithms, you will have some problem here and there. Okay, try to understand as far as possible. Over a time it will be clear, or one day we will take a class on logarithms again. Okay, in logarithms, log x base a equal to m implies x is equal to a power m. This is a basic definition of logarithm. And if a is greater than 1, log x base a greater than m implies x is greater than a power m. Same inequality. But if a is less than 1 and between 0, then log x base a greater than m implies you will not get greater than m, you will get x less than a power m. And of course, it should be positive. Okay. So basically, these are the three things that we may use in while finding the domain, if at all we use logarithms. These are equality. These are two kinds of inequalities. Okay, coming to this 2 power will come 2 power minus 1 less than or equal to x square by 2 less than or equal to 2 power 1. Because log x base a less than or equal to m means x is less than or equal to a power m, 2 power 1, similarly 2 power minus 1. That is 1 by 2 less than or equal to x square by 2 less than or equal to 2. If I multiply 2 everywhere, then I will get 1 less than or equal to x square less than or equal to 4. Okay, now we have to be careful. If x is positive and x square is between 1 to 4, x should be between what and what? Anybody? Is the board clear to everyone? Okay. If x square is between 1 to 4. One more thing, somebody asked me in WhatsApp whether coming 11th is there any exam and what is the portion. Okay. Before Dasara vacations, we don't have any exam. Okay. Especially because a lot of sections got reshuffled and some teachers also got changed and some syllabus, different sections is different situation. It takes at least 1 or 2 weeks to saturate everything. Okay. So most likely we will have an exam after Dasara vacations, the first Monday, most probably 25th. Okay, but don't say just because exam is not there, I will not study, I will not do homework. Okay, those kind of people will not get any rank. Not that if you study when exam is there and when exam is not there, you don't study. That kind of students, they don't do well at the end. The exam is there or not, your effort should be same. Okay, when x square is between 1 to 4, anybody want to tell x should be between what and what? 1 and 2. That is for positive values. What if x is negative also, x square between 1 to 4 can happen, right? What are those x values? X is negative, but x square is positive and between 1 to 4. What are such x values? Basically minus 2 and minus 1, right? Minus 2 whole square is plus 4, minus 1 whole square is plus 1. So x should be between minus 2 and minus 1 also. Okay. Simple common sense you can tell that. Let me ask another question. X square is between 10 and 64. Tell me x should be between what and what? Not 10, let us say I will take 25. X square is between 25 and 64. Tell me x should be between what and what? If it is positive, 5 and 8. If it is negative, yeah, and minus 8 is smaller. So we say minus 8 first and minus 5 later. Okay. So I will tell you how to write properly, but nothing wrong if somebody could write from this that minus 2 less than equal to x less than equal to minus 1 or 1 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2. If it is positive, x should be between 1 to 2. If it is negative, it should be between -2 to -1. And then you can say domain is close to -2 to -1 union 1 to 2. This is -2 to -1, and this is 1 to 2, their union. If somebody is not able to say this directly, I will tell you how to do that part. Okay, how to get this part without directly concluding is that, is this part of the board visible? Okay, fine. This has two inequalities, 1 less than or equal to x square and x square less than or equal to 4. I can bring this one this side and write x square minus 1 greater than or equal to 0. This 4 this side, x square minus 4 should be less than or equal to 0. This a square minus b square, I can write a plus b into a minus b. So this I can write x minus 1 into x plus 1 greater than or equal to 0. And this I can write x minus 2 into x plus 2 less than or equal to 0. Okay, now after this what to do? So take number line -2, -1, 1 and 2. The first inequality is greater than or equal to 0. That means x should be more than 1 or less than -1. This or this. The second inequality is less than or equal to 0. X should be between -2 to 2. Between -2 to 2 means like this. Okay, so one inequality says between these two, one equality says after 1 or before -1. So the intersection is this and this. That is exactly this. Either it can be between -2 to -1 or it can be between 1 to 2. Okay, try to understand this whole thing and copy. If any doubt you ask me. If you don't have doubt, just think about 77, how to do it. Okay, everybody completed 75? Okay, 77. F of x is square root of integer part of x minus x. Does anybody knows this symbol? No, right? Integer part of x. Okay. Anybody learnt about this? Did Siddhar Kumar sir taught in functions chapter that it is greatest integer function, anything like that? Yes or no? Maybe no. Okay, fine. This is a symbol we write like this. The definition is greatest integer less than or equal to x. Greatest integer less than or equal to x. Okay. Now, if we talk integer part of 3.7, answer is 3. Why? If we take the number line, 3 is somewhere here, 4 is somewhere here, 5 is somewhere here, 2, 1, 0, minus 1, minus 2. 3.7 is somewhere here. Okay. What is this definition says? Less than x, there are a lot of integers. Okay, less than or equal to x, there are a lot of integers. Among them, the greatest integer. Less than 3.7, what are the integers? 3, 2, 1, 0, minus 2. So many are there, right? Among them, what is the greatest integer? 3. That's why it is 3. You can just say, neglect this decimal part and take that. Nothing wrong. Okay. If somebody says, what is the integer part of 5.2? It is 5. You can read it as integer part or greatest integer function. If you want, let us say 7.4, it will be 7. If I take only 9, what is the answer will be? 9 only, because less than or equal to this side. So, if I take 9 here, 7 here, 8 here, if I take 9 less than or equal to 9, the numbers are 9, 8, 7 in that the greatest one is 9 itself. Okay. So, this is all fine, absolutely no problem. But let us see this one, minus 2.7. One should not say neglect this decimal part, answer is minus 2, because let us see the number line carefully. 0 here, minus 1 here, minus 2 here, minus 3, minus 4. Minus 2.7 is somewhere here. Okay, minus 2.7 is somewhere here, between minus 2 and minus 3. Less than minus 2.7, lot of integers are there. Among them, what is the greatest integer? It is not minus 2, it is minus 3. Anybody any disturbance in my voice or audio or in the video? Okay. So, integer part of minus 2.7 is not minus 2, it is minus 3. If I take minus 1.1, what do you think will be the greatest integer less than that? Minus 2. Minus 1.1 will be this side, not that side. So, if you take this number less than that, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4 are there. So, it is minus 2. Okay. So, this looks like one extra than what we should be getting. So, based on that, if I take minus 10.3, will it come minus 10 or minus 11? Minus 11 will come. Okay. If I take exactly minus 3, what will come? Minus 3 only. Okay. So, is everybody clear about this symbol? This is a definition, you write this. This is like a notes only, please write. Anyway, you are writing in the class notes, but you write it. Okay, everybody clear? Copied this whole thing? Okay. I'll discuss about this question, but I have to give clarity on greatest integer function. I want to draw the graph of y equal to integer part of x. In the other track, you are drawing graphs. What are you doing in the other track now, math? Limits. Okay. When it started, limit? Okay. Sir is talking about some deleted neighborhood and all these things. Yeah. Okay. I don't want to get involved in other track, but one thing I just want to tell you. In the beginning, some people may get confused in the limits. Okay. Don't worry. After a few days, okay, when enough formulas are given and questions were, when you do questions, you'll be able to follow comfortably. Only in the beginning, it looks like confusing for some students. Okay, integer part of x. You take any number between 0 to 1, 0.1 or 0.2 or 0.3 or 0.9. What is the integer part? What is the integer part of 0.3? Greatest integer function 0.3. No, it is 0. Because 0.3, let's say this is 0. 0.3 will be somewhere here. Less than that, there are so many integers. Among them, the greatest integer is 0 only, right? Okay. So you take anything between 0 to 1 x coordinate, the y coordinate is always 0. So the graph will be this line segment. This is closed, this is open. You take anything between 1 to 2. You take 1.2 or 1.3 or 1.7 or 1.8. What is the integer part of that? 1. So for any x value between 1 to 2, you will get 1 only. So this is closed, this is open. At 1.1 also 1, at 1.2 also 1, at 1.7 also 1. You take anything between 2 to 3, 2.1, 2.3, 2.9, it is 2. So at 2 it is 2 and at 3 it is not, but between 2 to 3 everywhere it is same. So it is everywhere 0 but not at 1. From 1 till 2 everywhere 1 but not at 2. From 2 to 3 everywhere 2 but not at 3. Next you will get between 3 to 4 like this. Between 0 and minus 1 it will be step minus 1. Between minus 1 and minus 2 it will be a small thing like this, which is minus 2. Because the graph looks like steps here, it is also called step function. Okay. Wherever you started all this discussion, you can put a side heading in the beginning, greatest integer function. Greatest integer function. In brackets, if you want, you can also write step function. Is everybody clear about the graph? Even in limits, these questions can be asked based on this. When you are approaching x from positive side of 2, 2 plus, the limit will be 2. When you are approaching x from the left side, it is just before 2, the limit is 1. These kind of things will be asked in limits also. Left limit and right limit, they will be discussed little later. You must be seeing some kind of glare here, right? Any part of the board, is it, you can see, are you seeing a lot of glare? Okay, all right. Okay, I'm erasing this whole thing. Okay, integer part of x is equal to 2. Anybody want to tell what is the solution for this? For what x values integer part of x will be 2? What about 2.01, 2.05, 2.95, 2.96? So how to say the answer? Yeah, everything between 2 to 3, which means close to 2 to open 3. Okay, 3 is not okay, but up to 3, whatever is the last number just before 3, till there it is okay, right? If you want integer part of x to be 7, then x will belong to closed 7 to open 8. If I want integer part of x to be minus 2, closed minus 2 to open minus 1. If I take number line 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, integer part will be minus 2 for all these numbers. Okay, closed minus 2. Same like this. In fact, I can write if you want integer part of x is some k, where k is an integer, I can definitely say x should be between k and k plus 1. K closed, k plus 1 open. If it is 2, 2 to 3. If it is 7, 7 to 8. If it is minus 2, minus 2 to minus 1. Is it okay? Okay. Integer part of x greater than or equal to 2. What is the solution? Integer part of x greater than 5. What is the solution? Integer part of x less than 9. What is the solution? Integer part of x is less than or equal to 7. Try to write solutions for these 4 things. Either you can write in the form of set or in the form of inequality. When I am recording this and putting in the YouTube, I hope somebody's video may be coming, especially whoever talks to me at the last, their in the corner, their video will come. I hope I have your permission to put your video in the YouTube. Okay, anybody want to answer this? What are the x values which will satisfy this inequality? I think I can just say x is greater than or equal to 2. Am I right? Any 2 is okay, anything more than 2 is okay. Less than 2 is obviously not okay. If I take 1.9, this will be 1 and 1 will be less than 2. So, integer part of x, if you want to be more than 2, okay, greater than or equal to 2, x should be greater than or equal to 2. Okay. What about this? Anybody want to say? You have to be little careful here. If x is more than 5, means you are saying 5.1, 5.2, they are all okay. Is 5.1 okay? When you substitute x as 5.1, this will be 5, but 5 cannot be greater than 5, right? So, what is the smallest number satisfying this inequality? No, 5 will not satisfy. Okay, it will be 6. Even if you take 5.8, it will be 5, and 5 cannot be greater than 5. So, the smallest number getting this. So, the solution for this is not x greater than 5, it should be x greater than or equal to 6. If you take 6, it will be 6. You take anything more than 6, 6.1, 6.2, it will be 6. Next 7, next 8. Okay, so this, whatever here, same thing came inequality, but this one is not like that. Is everybody fine with this? Okay. What about this? Integer part of x less than 9. Less than or equal to 8 or x less than 9. Less than, let us say take 8.8. Any objection? If I take 8.8, it will be 8. 8 will be less than 9. 8.1, 8.2, 8.3, 8.4. 9 is not okay. Anything more than 9 is not okay. Anything less than 9 is okay. Because anything less than 9 means 8.9, 8.8, 8.7, 8. They are all okay, right? Okay. Yeah. So it is not just, we don't have to worry about it. X less than 9, everything is fine. What about this? Can I say x should be less than or equal to 7? This is 7. Right or wrong, don't worry. If you feel something is right, feel free to tell. Yes. Even 7.1 is okay here because if you substitute 7.1, it will be 7. 7 is equal to 7, right? 7.2, 7.3. But 8 is not okay. So anything less than 8 is okay. So this refers to x less than 8. Okay, so we have to be little careful for this, little careful for this. These two are fine because whatever is here, same kind of thing. Okay. So with a little common sense, if you think what is okay and what is not okay, you'll be able to write these things. Because here 7.1, 7.2 up to 7.9 okay, but 8 and beyond that is not okay. Is it alright these 4 things, everyone? Okay. Okay, next this is another symbol we use it. This is called fractional part of x. Fractional part of x. That is x minus integer part of x. From x, if you remove integer part, what is left? That is called decimal part or fractional part. For example, if you take 9.2, you can write 9 as plus 0.2. This is called integer part and this is called fractional part. Till now we studied about this integer part. Now we are going to study about this. How will you get this fractional part? From the total number, remove the integer part, whatever is left, that is called fractional part. That's why fractional part of x is defined as x minus integer part of x. Okay, now fractional part of 9.3, what is the answer will be? 0.3, directly the fractional part. Even if somebody wants to use this 9.3 minus integer part of 9.3, 9.3 minus 9, 0.3. If you want fractional part of 8, it is 8 minus integer part of 8, 8 minus 8, it is 0. If I want the fractional part of minus 2, it will be 0. Minus 2 minus integer part of minus 2, which is minus 2 minus minus 2 is 0. Fractional part of minus 1.3, we have to be little careful. Here we should not say 0.3 because the integer part is also not minus 1. If you use this, you will get minus 1.3 minus integer part of minus 1.3. Minus 1 point, integer part of minus 1.3 is not minus 1, it is actually minus 2. So minus 1.3 plus 2 will be 0.7. Okay, so basically you can remember like a minus 1.3 can be written as 2 plus 0.7 or minus 2 plus. Okay, because minus 1.3 means you can write minus 1 plus minus 0.3. You don't want to say this integer part, this is a decimal part. You can rearrange it and write it as minus 2 plus 0.7. Now this is the integer part and this is the fractional part. You can remember that way. Our formula is there. Fractional part of x means x minus integer part of x. Positive values, there is no confusion. It is very, very easy. Negative values, you have to be little careful. What will be the fractional part of minus 5.8? Is it 0.8? It is actually 0.2. Yes. It will be minus 5.8 minus integer part of minus 5.8. Minus 5.8 minus minus 6. Minus 5.8 plus 6, which is 0.2. Every time you don't have to do this. Once you understand directly also, you will be able to write. Naina, you are from which school? Okay. You stay in MVP? What is your father doing? Working in Bajaj Finserv. Okay. Your mother also works? Okay. Any brother or sister? Little angels. Okay. Okay. So now we are going to draw the graph of this fractional part of x. Okay, can I erase this whole thing or anybody needs more time? Okay. Fractional part of x can also be written as, many formulas will be there. Fractional part of x, which is x minus integer part of x. It is x if x is between 0 to open 1. If it is x minus 1, if x is between open 1 to close 2. It is x minus 2 if x between closer 2 to open 3. It is x plus 1 if x belongs to minus 1 to 0. Because integer part of x is 0 here, 1 here, 2 here, minus 1 here. Just remove this integer part of x, substitute the corresponding values. What the fractional part of 0.2 will be? 0.2 only. What the fractional part of 0.7? Hello? 0.7 only, right? Because that itself is a fraction. There is no integer part in it. Integer part is 0, fractional part is 0. So anything between 0 to 1. If I ask 0.6, what is the fractional part? 0.6 only. In fact, I said fractional part of x is x as long as x is between 0 to 1. Okay. So another interesting thing. If I take fractional part of 9.2 or fractional part of 7.2 or fractional part of 8.2 or fractional part of 100.2, all are same, right? Yeah, all are 0.2. That means if you take x or x plus 7, okay, the fractional part will be same. Because by adding 7, you are changing the fractional part, you are changing the integer part, but you cannot change the fractional part by adding 7, right? Why only 7? You can write 5, you can write 1, you can write 100. Whenever you add an integer, you are increasing the integer part, but you are not changing the fractional part. So we can also make the statement that integer part of x is equal to fractional part of x equal to fractional part of x plus k for all k belongs to I and x belongs to R. If k is an integer, x or x plus k will have same fractional part. Okay, graph of fractional part of x, y is equal to fractional part of x. From 0 to 1 it will be like this. This is closed, this is open. This is closed and again open. Right below this, it is here and then this. Right below this. Okay. This point and this point should be in the same vertical line. This is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. This is -1, this is -2. This maximum value is 1. So fractional part of x will increase from 0 to 1. Suddenly drops down to 0, again goes up to 1. Suddenly drops down to 0, again goes to 1. Drops down to 0, again goes to 1. Why? Very simple thing. At 0.1, fractional part of x is 0.1. At 0.2, it is 0.2. At 0.3, it is 0.3. At 0.4, it is 0.4. At 0.9, it is 0.9. But at 1, fractional part will be 0. At 1.1, it will be only 0.1. At 1.2, 0.2. At 1.3, 0.3. At 1.8, 0.8. And 1.9, 0.9. Suddenly at 2, it will become 0. At 2.1, 0.1. At 2.2, 0.2. At 2.3, 0.3. At 2.8, 0.8. And suddenly at 3, it becomes 0 again. So from 0, it increases to 1. Comes down to 0, again increases to 1. Are you able to relate to how the values are changing of fractional part of x? Okay. You take anything between 1 to 2, fractional part will increase from slowly 0 to 1.999 means 0.999. When 2 to 3, again start with 0, goes up to 1. The range of fractional part of x is closed 0 to 1. Whatever x you substitute, the answer of this will be closed 0 to 1. It cannot be 1 or beyond that, or it cannot be negative, because we are not talking about decimal part. Decimal part means 0.1 or 0.8 or 0.999. Maximum will be open 1. It cannot be 1 or beyond that. So quite extensively we discussed about what is integer part and what is the fractional part, so that even if it comes in any other question, any place, you can use this theory. So today we could not discuss many questions because of discussing this theory here. Wherever this graph is there, you write y is equal to fractional part of x. Okay, everybody completed this? Any doubt or anybody needs more time to copy? Okay, we'll stop here for the next maths class. Thank you.